Hello guys, welcome to the Trading Parrot. I want to give a very quick update on this potential breakout at the moment that we are seeing. And the reason for the update is because it's not absolutely clear to me whether this is already a breakout or not. From some point of views, it is, from other, it isn't. So stick around and let me explain more in detail. Guys, if you like this type of content, make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. Hit that notification bell so you get notified every time I put out one of these videos. Look at this. This is the 4-hour time frame. On the RSI, you can see that we are still below the resistance at 60. We say this morning what we needed to do from the cap and handle in here is to use that strength to go break out above the white line. And we got the target from statistics saying 87, the target from the cap and handle being 82 on the RSI. But here we are, we just went slightly below, we didn't destroy the handle of the cap, fair enough, that is a good news, and we put a high. But that high hasn't yet broken out above the white line. And why is that worth making a video at this point in the day? And I think the reason is because we have this trend line in here on the price at the moment that has already broke above with this green candle. And the candle of 4 hours in here seems to be retesting it. But at the same time, it hasn't managed to break above the yellow line. That yellow line, it's 60 on the RSI. And remember, we want to break above that to confirm the breakout. So my question, when this kind of things happen, which is very rare, typically we see the opposite. We see the momentum, the RSI breaking out beforehand, and then the price follows. But on those rare occasions when the price breaks out before the momentum, one, I get completely confused because it's really rare. Maybe 1 out of 20 times it happens. It always leaves me thinking whether it's still valid or not. And I will say if we come back below this, I'm talking about below 96.6, losing this trend line and seeing a rejection from the yellow line, that increases slightly more the chances that this is a trap in here. In order to confirm the breakout, I insist we need to see the RSI 4-hour closing above the white line at 60. There's still 1.5 hours for this to confirm. Maybe in the next half an hour we are already above it and then we end up closing there, and then we have double confirmation, price and momentum agreeing on exiting from below the white line, which is basically a global breakout. Global from the 11th of November until end of November, that makes it a breakout of 20 days of suppression in here to allow once again the momentum to expand. Our rejection from here, I really want to see that we protect the 94.7. Otherwise, we break the structure of higher lows and higher highs, and we leave a higher high in here, very humble, in difference compared to the high that we had on the 27th of November. The second reason for concern, just concern, is that we have this channel to the downside on the daily, and we have this resistance right here, and we are kind of touching it. But since there is this magnet tool on TradingView, which is making me crazy, it's kind of testing it right now as resistance. So if we could clarify with the RSI and the price action things on the 4-hour and close above the yellow line, that could bring the daily above this, and then we can have a double breakout, 4-hour and daily all at the same time. That will be really bullish, but we really need the price to make that small additional move to make that double confirmation as well. If that was the case on the MACD, we will print for the first time pink. That is a good news when it comes to the effect of the bearish cross on the daily. On the Big Well Explorer, seeing a spike now to 116 is not the best thing to see at the moment. That goes against what we did in November. But this is just a move of the inflows from 10K to 30K. And that's why it's spiking in here. You might think that that's an overreaction. Well, that's what the stochastic model does with the movements, and that's why I visualize it, and my preferred way of observing the data is like this instead of the raw data that you get straight from TradingView. Liquidation levels, we went for the green in here. Definitely this is not big, large to be the reason why we are coming in here. So we always have to be thinking, what is the market maker trying to do? Is it that they're coming in here because we are about to test the 100K once again? Are the options already expired? The ones that are supposed to expire today? And maybe that motivation to keep the price suppressed below 100K is gone. That's one of the outcomes. Or are they trying to trap longs to hit them hard at 90K once again? Those are the things keeping me busy thinking, and that is the main reason why I'm observing the resistance on the daily and on the 4-hour closely. I also want to cover the ask liquidity, which is in a trend line to the downside, but it hasn't reduced. They are still placing orders to short, to sell in these highs constantly. And regardless of that, we have managed to put highs, which is very interesting. The selling wall remains roughly below the 200 million, no big changes. And the delta has managed to not just break out, but also made a full journey to half the range of the oscillator. So you can look at the past performance after we reach that middle line. We typically continue to the upside. For example, in here, in here, in here. There is an exception here where we have further downside, I can see. But most of the times we cross the middle line, we break out the trend line resistance, and we make a journey into somewhere in here at the top of the green, and that comes with a price increase most of the time. On the CPR monthly, I have drawn this triangle that I shared yesterday with the Coin Bureau community on Discord, and you can see it looks pretty nice. But this is a daily candle, and the last thing that we want in here is a daily that ends up closing below the resistance. That will be the most horrible liquidity hunt possible. So if you are trading the daily, in theory, you should be waiting for the candle close. Otherwise, you might be tricked into a liquidity hunt. And theoretically speaking, if this was a liquidity hunt, they could drag you to the other end and still break down and come back to what we did in 2020, reaching 82K. And of course, at that point, any sort of leverage that you're using will smash you big. Guys, most of the Black Friday deals are going to end up very soon, with some exceptions that end past November. Some of them are ending 2nd of December, but I wouldn't push it that much if you're considering putting your hands on any of these amazing discounts of 70% with the best tools to trade. And if you're thinking to use any of my charts on TradingView, High Block Capital, Material Indicators, Trading Light, using my charts that I published yesterday, 64, my top charts for trading are all accessible for free. Going to thetradingparrot.com/charts. As simple as that. I'll see you later with another quick update in the evening. Bye bye.